Hello guys, FurballTheHammy, your friendly neighborhood hamster, is back again for another guild review. And this is now going to be a regular series on my channel thanks to all of your support, and it will happen twice a month where I will be reviewing 2 guilds for each episode. So for this week, we will be reviewing an endgame dungeon guild known as Aspect of the Bumble, and a mid to late game all-around guild that has a bit of everything known as Aquatic Lime. And with that, I will be rating the guilds upon 5 stars for the following things: splashes, slayers, dungeons, dragons, and activity and helpfulness. However, before we begin, be sure to smash the subscribe button down below to get more guild reviews, and because at 20,000 subscribers, I will be doing 1,500 tier 4 events. So be sure to subscribe to help your hamster out and to also help your hamster get more carpal tunnel syndrome. And if you'd like to get your guild reviewed by me, be sure to join the Discord server link in the description to advertise your guild in the guild section. And with that, let's get on to the video. Firstly, for Aspect of the Bumble. This guild used to be an endgame dragon focused guild that has now transitioned to a dungeon focused guild that is also endgame. The requirements to enter are Catacombs 25, 600k Slayer XP, 32 skill average, or Catacombs 27 to bypass all other requirements. Firstly, for splashes, 3 stars. Clearly, it is a dungeon guild and splashes will not be its main strength. That being said, while it doesn't have splash taxes, Aspect of the Bumble does splash 1 to 3 times a day for free according to my experience in the guild, and you will get 3 to 5 splashes from leeching all completely for free. Slayers, 2 stars. It isn't entirely bad for slayers, but there's only a couple of slayer grinders in the guild and they are the minority. Consider joining this guild if you like slayers and dungeons together though, but if you only like slayers, it's not exactly the best. Dragons, 4 stars. It used to be a dragon guild and it has kept to its roots. There are still a couple of dragon grinders in Aspect of the Bumble, and they are more commonly found than slayer grinders. On top of that, they also have weekly dragon guild events where guild members can all participate and leech dragon fragments from those dragon grinders. And now for dungeons, 6 stars. What? What is this rating, you may be asking? I didn't expect any guild to surprise me so much that even a 5-star rating will not suffice. This is an amazing dungeon guild, if not the best endgame dungeon guild I have ever seen, okay? I joined this guild without a care in the world for dungeons, and I left the guild with a love for dungeons and have improved to becoming a competent dungeon player. Not as good as my slayers, but competent. It's perfect if you love dungeons, and you will get amazing parties in 5 minutes and clear floor 4s under 6 minutes consistently. And last but not least, for activity and helpfulness, 5 stars. If you want a guild that acts as your online home, Aspect of the Bumble is a really friendly guild. During peak hours, it consistently achieves 55 to 65 players online, and during offline periods, it is still at a respectable 35 to 40 players. AOTB has weekly dragon events. Friendly dungeon grinders will help other less experienced dungeon grinders to start their weapons and gear out of kindness because they are too lazy to sell their essence. But you guys shouldn't join the guild just to abuse that. That just makes you a scum. And on top of that, AOTB also has a dragon simulator server for those dragon tryhards out there. It is really a great Discord family and really a great guild family. And next up, let's move on to Aquatic Lime. Aquatic Lime is a mid to late game guild that doesn't excel at something specifically, but it is a good all-rounder guild. The requirements to join Aquatic Lime are net worth of 50 mil excluding slayers, 220k XP in slayers, 24 skill average, and a weekly splash tax of 300k. For splashes, 5 stars. Aquatic Lime does 8 splashes a day for 300k, and that is a very good deal to be honest. And on top of that, there will also be the occasional few leeches a day to add on to the 8 splashes, making it around 10 to 12. If you have a parrot pet, you should have potions on most of the time, or if you run out of them, you can always do a couple dungeon runs to wait for the next splash. It is a very good value guild for mid to late game players. For slayers, 4 stars. This guild does have a good amount of players who grind Slayers, although its Slayer ranks aren't very high. Don't let it fool you. It's good if you want to grind Slayers, but not necessarily only focus on Slayers like me a few months ago. It is a good all-rounder guild at the end of the day to help cultivate your skill levelings, your Slayers, and your dungeons, and not just one specific skill. Next up, for Dragons NA. Players at this stage shouldn't be doing Dragons as a whole, and hence I am nullifying this rating for early late game and below guilds. Dungeons 3 stars. It is an early to late game guild. There are a good proportion of players who can grind dungeons here. You can find 3 to 4 man dungeon parties with this guild for floor 3 and floor 4, and just publicizing the last 1 to 2 spots to randoms. The players here are competent in general, especially considering how it is for an early late game guild. Being able to find competent floor 4 parties is certainly nothing to scoff at. However, there is not a lot of dungeon players in this guild. And last but not least, for activity and helpfulness, 5 stars. For an early late game guild, it has around 35 plus members during online peak hours and is not bad for a more casual type of guild. On top of that, what gives this guild the rating of 5 stars is due to events, such as Slayer grinding events, which I joined in on this week. This guild rewards the top 3 players during the events, and in this case, the top 3 players who grinded the most Slayer XP during the week with cash rewards, and it adds a fun spice and competitive aspect into this more casual guild. And with that, those are the guilds for today, and let's say you would like to join them, be sure to check out the Discord servers link in the description. And last but not least, a Slayer boss a day keeps /GKit command away, so be sure to do your daily Slayer bosses. And this is FurballTheHammy, your Slayer maniac, signing out.